I'm Valentine Banfegha Ngalim, Chair of Philosophy, Higher Teacher Training College, the University of Bamenda. And presently I am specializing in philosophy of sport and carrying out research in human flourishing, looking at how sports play leads to human flourishing in multi-generational families. And with my findings from the life of the adolescents, the young people, and early adulthood, I realized that sport is playing a very big role to enhance human flourishing of people within the context of the present socio-political crisis in Bamenda. The present situation that we have is that for the past 6 years, the people of Bamenda have been living in a state of fear. They have been living within the context of crime, high crime wave because of socio-political crisis. Many armed groups have come up, and these armed groups have led to the state of tension. There have been tension between tribes, the tension between the different cultures that exist. People have been living in a state of loneliness and fear. And with the lockdowns, there has been a lot of stress and trauma, and we are thinking of post-conflict trauma that people are going to experience. Within this context, and where the lockdowns have been very strong, life has not been very interesting, and in the state of stress, we have been looking for alternative ways of how to improve on the well-being of the people. So as the president of the Next Generation Institute, and with my experience in sports, we brought up the initiative of how to promote the agenda of sports, especially during the ghost towns. And then in this context, we have had summer sports competitions that have been going on to improve the life of young people, give them the opportunity to come and showcase their talents, because that's one of the objectives of Next Generation as a thinking tank of young people, to promote give a platform where young people could come and promote their talents, showcase their skills, and think of alternative ways of making it in life rather than involving in crime wave. So within this context, we have engaged in sports as one of the greatest tools to bring peace within the context of the socio-political crisis in Bamenda. So within this context, as a teacher in the university and a researcher, I have realized that sport is playing a very big role, especially during the period of ghost towns. And there are many clubs that are coming up, not only football clubs, clubs for aerobics, clubs for dancing sports between men and women. And it is becoming more interesting because many young people are joining these clubs. The high crime wave that was being experienced is reducing, and because some individuals, many young people found in these armed groups, some of them have abandoned and they have come and joined the clubs to get integrated in the life of the community. With the sports that is practiced, especially football, there's a life of conviviality where we are able to bridge the gap, the differences that exist between tribes, exist between people speaking different languages, exist between people from different regions. And because the language of sport is about team spirit, it's about the well-being of the people, it's about participation, it's about love, humility, and charity among the people. So sport has been a very strong advocate in building resilience among the people, especially during the ghost towns. When there are lockdowns, the people no longer sit at home in loneliness, because that is the only activity that is permitted to be taking place. Even armed groups are not so much rejecting these activities. They allow people to play free, and this gives people a means to be able to get back to their lives, to activities that will take them to be busy and make them improve on their well-being. So apart from the physical well-being, it also has to improve on their mental well-being. Then we say that these activities are not only limited to sports. These people go as far as getting into sustainable economic activities like jaggies, the care for one another. So we find now the spirit of Ubuntu, which is being expressed within these team clubs, and it is becoming very relevant within the context of the culture that is practiced by the people of Bamenda. Then within this context, the coaches have become strong ambassadors in the different communities where we have conflict and violence, and the coaches now have become strong advocates for peace by advocating sporting activities, and these have gone a long way to reduce the tensions that exist in areas of high conflict. And we are thinking of places in the villages where these activities could be carried out, and because in the city there is a certain degree of normalcy because of these sporting activities. So if these activities could be carried even to the villages, it will improve on the well-being of the people. And we are thinking of the role that the diaspora, Cameroonian diaspora, has to play with regard to this. They need to support this initiative, especially in the various villages and towns, to make sure that this conviviality that is lived in sports, to ensure the physical and the mental well-being of the people, is encouraged. They need to look for alternative ways of how to improve on the well-being of the people using this medium of sports, particularly football as well. Could be other team sports, but football has proven itself to be very outstanding, not only to the players that play, but even to the spectators that come to watch. It gives them a platform where they could come, laugh over their stress, and feel relief because of the situation and the tension in which they live. And this is what we are thinking that the initiative of sports is going to bring for the people of Bamenda and those living within the context of the socio-political crisis, go as well as to Boya and other areas. Thanks for your keen attention.